That piece used to be on the roof, and it wasn't big enough, didn't span the whole 8 feet. These are 10-foot panels. Have 2 of them, and I got one of them put up, and I did it in stages because it's located 4 tiers down from this location. And I did it by myself, and I took it up 2 tiers, put it down, did something else, came back and moved it, and I must have pulled a muscle when I did that. And I was hurting the next day. So I think I know how I should carry it next time, but when I get both panels up there, I'll screw them in and the bricks can come down from the roof. And I'm going to use that shorter piece with the tarp and give them more shade up top. But the tarp will gather water and pool, and I have to get up there and get it down. And I think I've got it to where it's not doing that so badly. It pulls in very shallow areas before it overflows by itself. But I still would like to correct that. And you see how I've done the top to keep any aerial predators from flying in or any climbers from climbing over. So finally getting some progress on the metal shed, the new coop. And I definitely could not have put the fence panels up by myself. So with my husband's help, did that today. And that's part of the A-frame that was down at the old location that was earlier this year. And it's going to be put in the center and help keep the fence panels up, which I need to still buy. 2x4 welded wire fences. After doing the research and reading the reviews of the anchoring kits that you buy for these metal sheds, I found it cheaper and better. My husband went a little crazy and hammered this down, one of these, all the way down to where only like 4 inches of it is showing. So these are $3, I think, each. So that's $12 for 4 of them. The cable, 50 feet of this cable, still 18, I think 1/8 inch gauge or something. Cable was $18 for 50 feet. And we still had a little bit left over, but it was right. And then $2 for each end of these cables, so $4 for that. So 22 plus 12, $36, which is $14 cheaper than the cheapest kit that you buy for doing this. And I feel like this is not going anywhere. The reviews had the anchors, they fell apart, they broke, they weren't as good. So I'm happy with this and not worried about this getting blown away. I still have to finish the vent. That will be a door that I hope to have on a pulley and rope system where it'll flip up and I can pull the rope from over here. I'm going to use another one of those fence posts and get this pushed into the right position and lock it in instead of having it tied onto the shed. I'm going to do it that way so that this one and that end won't move. And over here I'll have the watering system, and I want to do the feed system through here too. I want to be able to load their feeder and their waters without having to go into the run. The run is their place. Don't need to go in there if I can avoid it, and let them have that as theirs with the A-frame in the middle. With some posts that if they want to perch up there they can. And I think 100 feet of the roll of that fence, 2x4 welded wire fence, will cover this top area along with whatever scraps I have. I have 10 of these in my house that are part of my pantry. 5 that have drawers that are the base, and then 2 on top of the drawer base. And obviously this is going to need some work, but the partition wall will be down the center, so the access to the birds area will be that door, and then access to the feed and egg collection will be on this side. And I will cut, when I put the shelves, each is going to have one shelf, and they're going to have some boards coming out, so they have perches outside, that they can fly up to, and then into the nesting boxes. And I'll cut holes for them to go through. I will enclose that, and they will have a vertical separator, so there'll be 2 down there, two in the next one up, 2 here, and I think I'm going to leave this as a shelf and leave it closed. 6 next nesting boxes for the hens to lay their eggs in, and I'll cut the pans so that they can have access. I'm still playing with, should I have it long ways or this way. And the doors, I'll put one of the child safety latches on there. And with the partition wall here, it's not gonna be wobbly. It's gonna be anchored, and it's gonna be screwed in and tied into the roof system. And it's gonna come out, to the center here where the door will close. And I'll have a sign on here: do not open this side. Use this side. So coming in here, the feed is already up here, and I want to, keep the airflow going through here, and I want to come up with some way to vent the top to get some heat to just go up and out. So I'm still looking at ideas for that. But this is all stuff I can do without having to drag my husband into it. The run that I made earlier this year was a very redneck, very hodgepodge. Did the best with what materials I had to get them out of the, they were in a 12 by 6 foot dog kennel, which we used the 12-foot panels and one of the 6-foot panels. And I want to use the gate for another run later that I'm going to build out this way or on the other side of the coop for the meat birds. The plan, and I keep in mind that my plans don't go as I plan. Cookies will be up here with little Roo there, and they will incubate the regular eggs, because silkies are very broody birds, and they're not really good layers. They're bantams, and even though I've been told their eggs are good to eat and everything, we probably will eat some. I want to breed more silkies, and I want to breed more of the standard size birds. So we'll need to get a rooster for the big girls, and then the 2 older girls, and then 2 more girls that probably going to be too old in the next year or 2 to keep in with the layers, are going to go into chicken tractors, and I'm going to move them around in the yard and get the meat birds when they get beyond a certain size, remove them from the silkies that we're using as the breeding program. And that way I'm not dealing with incubators and having to look after little baby chicks. I will definitely have to make some changes to this, because the chicks can go through that fence. And they're not smart. They will drown in water. If you've ever had to deal with that, then you know what I'm talking about. They're not the brightest things. They're not too bright when they're full adults, but when they're little, they're just not smart at all. So that's the goal, is that will be my breeding area for egg production. And I also want to replenish our layers. After the 2nd year, they're not good. They're very intermediate. Some may do it, but overall it's not good. So I want to start phasing the older birds out and use them for other stuff, or just go ahead and let them go to freezer camp. But I want to make another area out here to do, don't need to worry about nesting boxes, but give them a little shelter and water and food while they grow to a size where we can butcher them. So now this is all up to me. The tins from the two sides that we left open, I want to use as roof, along with some more tin metal that we have that will go into the new coop. So all the birds will be up here for the ones in the tractor. And I want to give them, I'm finding out that the summer here, they need shade. They need as much shade as you can give them. It's miserable for them. So, and different waters, but like I said, the feeders and waters will be here, and I don't have to go into the coop to refill them, because I'm going to run the lines in there for the feeders and water. So things are happening, and I keep bumping my head. I duck, and I don't know how. I must be stepping up or something and hitting my head, getting in and out. But this, oh, I also need to put some sort of, I was talking to my husband about that, and maybe he comes up with something better. But they will scratch in here, and dirt will get into the tracks. And to avoid that or minimize it, I want to build up something here. And I'm going to build them kind of a triangle platform so that they can have some roosts. So they can roost in here. And let's see. And then when they have that closed up, I can go ahead and start putting some more storage in here. Put the various medications and the sunflower seeds that they like, that I give to them every so often as a treat. Things like that. And it is way too hot. Like right now, it's cool enough. And as you can see, they don't hang out in the coop during the day anyway, unless they're laying eggs in the nesting boxes. They don't go up in there. So I still want to find a way to put a tarp at least over one side, on the other side that stays hot longer, up above and not touching the metal, to give them a little bit more shade, and maybe see if that'll help cool things off. We'll see. Lots of ideas, and like I said, my plans don't always go, so I try to stay flexible, say this is the general direction I'm going, but if I need to make a turn, I will. So, thanks for watching.